Well, she's still going strong. Check this out. And today I'm just going to talk about a comment I left on the Black Belt Barrister site. I work in IT, I work with cyber security teams, and I look a mess today. God, I hate seeing myself on video. I only do this as service, I hate doing it. Kills me. Anyway, so as some of you know, I was security cleared. I don't care if they revoke my security clearance. I work in the private sector now and I'll never work in the public sector again. And as a program manager, I work a lot with different teams, including cyber security. And I can wholeheartedly tell you, hey, come on, Husky always plays up when I'm on the damn phone. I can wholeheartedly tell you that they do not have the infrastructure, the capabilities, from a tool or resource perspective, for this digital ID to be anything other than high risk. And I'm being bullied into doing it next month as a director of my own company. So if I don't do it, Companies House will just close my limited company down, which means that it's not optional in any way. And I have first-hand knowledge and experience of how atrocious their internal systems are. I mean, did you know that the library was cyber attacked? Which for us authors is terrible, because it means that any digital copies we have given that library, fortunately I did not, because I know what their technology is like. So it's like, oh, you're not having a PDF copy of my book because it will be out on the web for free in no time. So I give hard copies. And they can't even keep authors' books safe. You know, they had a huge amount of data, held ransom, couldn't pay, didn't pay, lost all that data along with the librarian's own personal data. So in their cyber security teams within the government agencies that I've worked for, I've not worked for them directly. I've worked as a provider. So I've worked for companies that provide services to the government, and they pay a ridiculous amount of money to third-party companies to manage their systems and do what they want. They do not follow best practice. They do not do good security. They quite often, as I have raised on my projects, have shared admin IDs with open passwords multiple people know, even people who've previously left the company and the passwords have not been changed. And it's not best practice to share admin access to any IT systems. They market pay at best. So all the good ones go to the private sector where they paid a decent salary, and they hire a lot of students, postgrads, inexperienced people to do things like cyber security in order to be cheap and not pay for the really expensive skilled ones like the private sector do. And even the private sector gets cyber attacks. The UK is facing more and more cyber attacks every day. There's been several hundred just in the last half a year. I'm not sure what the true statistics were. The last I looked, it was well over 200 cyber attacks, which is a lot. But a lot of them only we would find out about as security cleared personnel on government contracts. It wasn't public knowledge. So they don't have a system that is good. And I really don't want this digital ID because it's being handled and hosted by incompetent people. And I know this firsthand. They're nowhere near as smart as the people hacking their systems, and they don't put the money into the software and the support. The other thing is they waste hundreds of thousands of pounds every month on projects, mostly because they're incompetent of making a good decision. You will have key leaders in the government agencies who can't make a decision to save their life. I don't know how they stay in work and how they function, to be honest. But then what they will do is they will hire third-party companies, pay a fortune to outsource the work to them, to people like me. And then we can get blamed if anything goes wrong. Or good people like me quit and go and work in the private sector. To be honest, I've never liked working in the public sector. Don't think many people do. And I've only taken jobs there when there's been nothing else on the market. And I will go without work now rather than ever go back to the public sector, because in the last few years it's just become horrendous and it makes me feel physically sick working for them. It's a very toxic environment. The people are very toxic and unpleasant, and so employees get disgruntled. And on all the meetings I've hosted in the public sector, cybersecurity is never in attendance. They either claim to be too busy, which they're not, they just can't be asked to attend because they don't want to do it, they don't want the responsibility, and they don't feel they're paid enough, understandably. Or they're off sick all the time and they're not replaced or covered. It's like projects just have to skip certain areas and carry on because those people aren't available and they're not replaced. So how can you just carry on with projects without someone from cybersecurity? So these people who will be looking after your digital IDs are either off sick a lot because of their mental health, miserable, hate the job, or they're pretending to be off sick because they've actually got a nicer job that they do and they're just seeing how long they can get away with double pay, or they're not very good. And these are the ones who are going to be in charge of our digital ID. So, you know, I didn't vote for Labour. I don't trust or like this government. I don't like what they're doing. And even before this government, I know the whole system is shockingly incompetent. They don't have the tools or the knowledge or the resources to do what they need to do for a successful digital ID solution, if the intention behind it was decent, which I don't think it is. I think we are going to have our bank access monitored if we don't comply and do what we're supposed to do. And this worries me a lot. So, you know, what can I do really? I try not to keep all my assets in the bank because I don't trust them. And I don't trust being locked off if I refuse to do something that I don't want to do, including this digital ID. So, if anyone knows how I can avoid the digital ID in November without having my company closed down, please let me know, because I ain't got a bloody clue at this point. I think they've tied our hands unless enough people protest. And they'll start with veterans, they'll start with companies, but then they'll be after the kids and then us. It's all enforcement, and I don't like being forced to do anything. If you have a good solution that's worthwhile and in the hands of decent people, not power hungry, greedy people who are trying to ruin our balance and quality of life, then I think we would all adopt it happily, because we would have that trust and we would have that belief. However, I don't trust these people in charge to the point that I don't want to live in this country any longer. And if they push me so far, I'm going to completely go, and then they'll lose all my tax contributions. So they're just pushing people out, aren't they? And it sucks. So let me know if you know why around it. But I just thought I'd also give you a quick update of my happy little Labrador who has survived her stroke, and it's as if nothing happened, which is amazing. So that's really good news. And my husky is just wrapping herself around my legs because she's had enough of me being on the phone and not present in this walk. But it is a 2-hour walk, and I've only been on the phone for 10 minutes, so get over yourself, little cow. Anyway, that's my job for the day done. Have a lovely one and enjoy your Sunday, everyone.